Hey guys, Connor here with Chrome Designs, and thank you so much for watching this video. Today we have episode 2 in creating a YouTube background layout, and today we're going to be creating something that I'm probably going to go along the lines of the name Red Mist. We'll see anyway, but the actual design of the layout is going to look something like this, in fact. So I'm just going to deselect that, we'll zoom in here. And again, we're doing a pattern layout. I'm going to continue these a little bit, then I'm going to go back onto the standard pattern layout. So keep tuned. Anyway, you pick up some tips along the way. But I'm actually using the new layout here. For you guys just wanting that, it's going to be forced to use it soon. There we are, coming at you. But this is it. We've got a kind of stone text in the middle with some nice side off neon kind of glowing lines, and I feel the look is quite nice, quite simple and professional, something that I really look for in my designs. So I think without further ado, we'll get started. I've got my template open here. If you don't have a template, you can search YouTube. Well, I've got a video on it if you want to search it. Not search it, you can just go onto my channel and you'll see it in a matter of moments, because it wasn't that long ago since I uploaded it. But anyway, we'll get started. And in fact, here we are. We've got quite a nice little screen preview here, zoomed in a little bit, so I might just flick back to this in order to kind of try and get the best results in terms of similarity to this as possible. So I think without further ado, we'll go ahead and make the background, undo the color overlay, and I'm just going to make a simple gradient and radial. Going to go ahead and reverse that so it's black on the outside. I'm just going to go and change the color from white to a dark red, maroon kind of colour, something that's got a bit of class to it. There we go. And also I'm going to drag it up just a little bit so it's at the top of the sheet. Obviously you just do this by dragging, make sure it's trying to be in the centre, and my desk is kind of squeaking, wobbling at the moment, but I'll try and play through that. I hope you can't hear it. Then I'm going to reduce the scale just not that much, something like that would do. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit darker, I think. There we go, that's looking good. I'll go ahead and go view actual pixels, and there we've got our banner. In fact, that's not centered up. I'll try and move it over just a little bit. I don't know, that'll do anyway. So next thing, I think we'll just go ahead and go straight into it. I'm just going to make the text. So I'm actually going to drag this out of the modules. There we go. I'm going to go to text. The font I'm going to use is, I think it's Sliced AB. There we go. Oh, awkward. Next tab, and we're going to kind of have this a red colour, but I'm going to keep it white for now. So I'm just going to put caps lock on and write Chrome. I'm going to edit free transform. I'm just going to make it bigger. You want this text to stand out as it is the main text of the document. In fact, I'm just kind of realising here that I'm going to try and have to go quite fast just to fit everything in. So I might be whizzing through this a little bit. There we go. And to get the kind of outer layer, as you see here, the kind of stone effect, I'm just going to click Command, and on the thumbnail of the Chrome text, make a new layer, go to Select, Modify, Expand, and I'm going to expand this by 10 pixels. And I'm just going to go to the Fill tool once that kind of region is selected, and we'll just fill it in. There we go, it's simple enough. Command D to deselect it, and you realise that the white text we just had is gone. That's because the fill that we just made is simply above the layer Chrome. So drag it below, just make sure it knows its place, and there we go, we've got the nice effect. On the internet, you may have just seen, we've got the stone text, so we're going to go ahead and just copy it in. I just typed in grunge, as you see in my Google search. Grunge, Google Images, something that I liked, it doesn't matter. Just give a nice stone effect. And then you add a new feel to it. So we're going to go ahead and Control V that in, and that is actually a lot larger than the one I kind of used to make this, but nevertheless we'll work with it, and we'll just overlay it onto the text, actual pixels, and I'm just going to hit Alt, and in between these two layers here, I'm just going to click, and you see the little the white and the black circle. I'm going to create a clipping mask, and you'll see it will overlay onto the Chrome, and immediately we'll add a hue and saturation on that layer, and I'm just going to lower down the lightness just a little bit. In fact, I'll use the create clipping mask on it, and I'll lower the lightness down just a tad. There we go, that's looking okay, that's okay. Yeah, we'll go off that. double click, and on the chrome, in fact, on this layer 1, we're going to add a outer glow, and change it to black, like so. Increase the size quite a bit, and obviously this just adds a bit of depth to the title, makes it stand out that little bit more. So we'll do that, leave it at that, that's looking okay. I'm going to repeat the stages that we just done in terms of the layer onto the actual Chrome text. So we're going to go Control J on that, and I'm going to drag it above the Chrome, and again hold Alt and click in between the two layers, and there we go, we can immediately see it. But this is going to be in the same region, so I'm actually just going to click and drag on this stone layer, and when you start to drag you can actually see the outline of the actual kind of picture itself. I'm going to drag it to the bottom to really get some of that grunge in there, and also displace it from the text, the actual layer used below, so it won't look exactly the same and cheap. So now on the Chrome, I'm just going to make a colour. I'm going to add a colour red actually, yes, and I'm going to make the colour a nice dark red. I'm going to change the blend mode to overlay, like so. And immediately you'll start to see it as a nice effect. That looks quite good actually, I'll leave it at that. Before we do so, go to outer glow, color normal, and we'll change it to black. And increase the size yet again. There we go, that's looking good. We've got a nice effect, it really stands out and kind of draws your eye to it. One other thing that, this is a good tip, in fact, this is the main reason for this series, is getting the tips. And a good one is the inner glow. If you use inner glow, and I change the color to white, and I change the blend mode to overlay, it really does highlight parts of the text, and it kind of increases the vibrance. So if you see, if I take it out, it's quite bland and bold, but if I put it on, you can really see the lighter parts a little bit more, and I think it does have a great effect on the text. Obviously if that's too strong, you know, you can tone it down, you can really bring it up if you want, but I think 75 works okay. Obviously you can play around with it, depends on what kind of grunge map you use, but no, that is a great effect. I strongly recommend using that because it really does highlight certain parts of the text. So click OK on that, and I think as far as the text front goes, I think we're looking quite good. So now go ahead and make this bar going on the outside. This is probably quite an easy bit, but nevertheless I'll run you through it, and hopefully we can have something half decent and fully completed in no time. So just above the background, I'm going to create a new layer. Obviously it needs to be below all the text that's going behind it, and I'm just going to make a black banner like so, just a little bit, quite a bit bigger. I'm going to stretch it right out to the end like so. There we go. Drag it up so it's in the middle, and there we go. That's looking good. So make a new layer again, and we'll go to the line tool, and we're just going to drag out a line. Turn off caps lock. Hold shift to make sure it's straight again, and drag it out just as long, just on the top of that black region. In fact, I'm going to Control Z. I'm going to invert the colors to white just so you can see it immediately, like so. Zoom in just a tad, and that's looking okay. The ends don't really matter because we're going to be cutting them off for the fade. It's more in terms of horizontally rather than vertically, but yeah, that's looking good. Zoom out just a tad. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and make the layer mask. They're the colors for this. So we're going to make the color, and we're going to go from red. And you see there's white on the left and red on the right. We're going to go somewhere in the middle, a nice pink salmony color for color wise. And we're going to get the outer glow, and we're just going to change the outer glow color to the actual red itself, strong red. Like so. You can make it a little bit darker if you want. But okay, that's looking good. In fact, on the original, I'm going to make it a little bit darker. Maybe that's a little bit too light. Something like that is looking nice. There we go. Okay, and that's okay for that line. So we're going to go ahead and Control J or Command J on that layer, and just drag it down to the bottom of that black bar rather. Just trying to get my words out. I've got a bit of a sore throat, as I always do with these tutorials. Maybe not the one for me, but hey ho. So we've got these three layers going on here, and what we're going to do is we're going to right click on all of these, and we're just going to go merge layers, and we go to the brush tool. I've got the brush on 306, and this seems to work well for me. What I actually do is I just tap, continue clicking on the outside Obviously the hardness is on 0, and I'm kind of getting a nice fade effect, so it'll be clean cut and kind of tacky, if you will. So a nice smooth fade into the black. It probably does it easy on the black background as opposed to the little vertical lines, but nonetheless it still works cool. There we go. And merging them before will obviously make them even, as long as you've got the brush reasonably in the middle. But that's looking good, and we're almost there. The final tips, or the final stages rather, is the text. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a new layer right at the top here. Got a really messy Photoshop workplace going on. Excuse me. Now I'm going to change the font to, you want a kind of bold font for this, not too bold though. I'm using, I think it's, I'm not sure, Bitsamishi. Bitsamishi is the font, don't ask the font. I'm not one to know, so people's going to ask me the font now, and I'm going to go ahead and say it now. You're not going to be funny. Apologies for that. But anyway, we'll go ahead and type, I'm going to type Twitter in here. Yeah, I'm going to Command J. I'm really going to drag it down. Hold Shift and Alt by OCD, and Shift just to keep it in proportion. Like so. That's looking good. And add some final blending options for this. We're going to go Gradient Overlay. And I'm going to lower the opacity. Because it was on red, if we lower the opacity, you're really going to get the red effect. In fact, that's not even going to work. We're going to change the bottom color to a nice dark red, maroon color. And the top to a kind of lightish color red, like so. And again, I'm going to use the same technique that we just used by doing the inner glow. So we're going to go inner glow, blend mode, overlay, color white. And we're going to lower the size down to about 2, I feel. And really that does highlight the outsets of the text. So that's looking good for that. So we'll go ahead and click Command J. Drag it over to the right hand side, and obviously this is going to be the Facebook link. Obviously links can be whatever you fancy. Or Facebook, there we go. Facebook. And like, that is really looking good. One other emphasis I'm going to have on the text. In fact, no, I'm going to leave it there for a second, purely for ease. Command J, the Facebook. I'm going to drag it up. I don't know why. Instead of making a new text, I always Command J or duplicate the layer. Something that I always have in my head. And we're going to just change the color of this to white. Take off. In fact, no. We're going to leave it. I'm going to change, lower the size down to about 24. Is that 24 is okay. Drag it over in the middle of the Facebook text. We're just going to go to Gradient Overlay. We're going to reset to default. And because the color is on white, as we just seen, if you lower the opacity, the black was just, because it's white on white at the top, you'll notice no difference. Because it's black on white at the bottom, and you lower on the opacity, the black will start to turn to grey until it gets to white. So it'll be white on 0, 100 on black, black on black if it's on 100. So we're going to go somewhere in the middle, and something around the 56, about 60 mark. Works best, I feel. I'm just going to change the text to click here. There we go. And final step, duplicate that over like so, and click here for Twitter. You can maybe make them a little bit smaller. In fact, I think that's quite a bit too big. That's what she said. 20. I think that'll do. 20 looks a little bit better, actually, a bit more sleek and professional. Let's go ahead and make it on this one as well. 20. There we go. Everything is complete. There we've got the chrome effect. Why does it keep zooming in loads for? Anyway. There we go. That's what we were trying to make. What's he doing that for? There we go. That's what we were trying to make. This is really getting on my nerves. That's what we're trying to make, and that's what we made. Obviously, the simple difference is a bit lighter on this. I actually quite prefer the black or the dark colour. But in fact, just to make it a little more seamless, a little bit more perfect to the original, we'll just make this a lighter colour. Like so. Okay. So there you go. That's what we're trying to create. That's what we created. There we have it. And I hope you picked up some tips in this tutorial along the way. Sore throat at the moment. But anyway, I've been Connor with Chrome Designs. I hope you liked the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'm going to go get a glass of water yet again after another tutorial. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to go ramble on now, so I'm going to cut it off. Thanks for watching this video. I've said that about 3 times right now. But I'll see you guys soon. Bye.